Oh,
Hold on. And I'm going to hit record now. So wait about 10 seconds.
Hail and well met, my fellow Hearthstone players, and welcome to HearthCoach, the podcast that can help you be legendary. I'm your guest host, Cora, and these are my co-hosts for today, Dan.
hey everybody.
Hey, Dan. And Frid.
Hello, everyone.
Frid is a player of Legend rank, and Dan has convinced him to coach him and record it in podcast form, and hopefully help some of you make it to Legend rank along the way. And I'm just here because they needed a third person, and I was available. So
Wow.
this is going to be a fun
This is
time.
yes, it is, and it's our super special 100. I consider this an even more important episode. 104, 2 years in a row, haven't missed a show.
Yeah.
That is incredibly impressive. Like,
Thank you.
that's fantastic. Congratulations, guys. 2
Yeah,
years with not a single missed show is incredible.
Yep.
and here's hoping for three.
Right.
Absolutely.
No,
So
I, we started this 2 years ago. Dan's idea, the way we set it up, I never expected it to run for so long. So I do want to take the opportunity to, not to get all melodramatic, but to thank all our listeners for the support over the past 2 years. I didn't, you
yeah,
know, I had no experience doing anything like it before, and we,
I had just a little. I had a clue.
yeah, and it's
I
incredible
started with a clue.
what you can do by just. I think it's just about being genuine and putting something out there. I think we found a niche that's a void, and a lot of people like to our approach and what we do. So really want to thank everybody that has hung in there for so long, and hopefully you'll keep telling your friends and keep listening. So
Yep, yep. Apply yourself, and when you think you have a good idea, flipping, just go for it. Put some effort into it. You never know what could happen.
yeah, I mean, I told this story before. There's this guy that he's a app developer for iOS, and he says this thing about if you wanna be a podcaster, you don't have to wait for somebody to come tell you with some certificate or some authority, hey, you can do that. You just how do you become a podcaster? Well, you one day start talking into a mic, start recording it, and start posting it. And now, two
Hmm.
years later, we're like official podcasters.
I know.
So
I think so. Just about. I'm still waiting on that
It's
that
pretty official.
final
yeah,
that
I guess.
final letter from the
Yeah.
the Podcasters Association to hang on the wall.
Nice
Once we get
plaque
that,
with your names on it,
yep,
That's
yep.
gold
right.
plated,
Get
We
anointed, in the halls of podcasting.
knighted by the podcast kings.
maybe
Yeah, I
we
mean,
were we were on probation there for a little while after the chip eating incident, but we were able to get through that and smooth things over with them.
yeah,
And yeah, so now we're just waiting for that piece of paper to come in, and we will be official
yes, yes.
podcasters.
And of course, everybody knows that Dan's intent is not to make it to legend because the show would end otherwise. So he
So you could
needs,
stop it.
That
Rank one,
that was
5 stars.
that was
yeah.
Get a Smurf account to Legend, but keep your main away from there.
those were pre-show notes, man.
Oh,
Pre-show notes.
sorry. Those are things we don't say out in the live feed.
You
Oh
can
no,
always edit it out later.
that's right.
Different person. Do the intro and just all confused.
Yeah, no, we
You know
want.
what? I should have read it out loud before because I could have done it better. I
Dude,
know I
that was
could have.
perfect.
That's
No,
right. It was one
perfect.
take, no practice.
I'm the
One
first
take.
person to do the intro other than you guys, and
And
I.
you did it in one
Could've done it
take,
better.
no rehearsal, and no, it was
You know what?
perfect.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's one of the best for
I'll just
sure.
have to come
Yeah.
on a fourth time
Oh,
and try it again.
well, we'll hold you to
Another
that.
time.
Yeah,
That's
not a
right.
problem.
Cora's
for the 3 year.
a third time guest host, so that is
That's
excellent.
I don't remember what we played the second time I was on, but I'm pretty sure the first time was Secret Paladin.
Yes, that was the time of the Secret Paladin. That was all the rage. Wow.
My heyday.
I want
The
to
good
say
times.
it was a handlock the second time.
It might have been.
Yeah. So
Don't quote me.
It's been a while since Handlock, too. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have to say from the chat we have Blake Hall and Forrest Bates. He's a longtime listener and supporter, and he says, "Cora is a more welcome gang than Ronnie." I've guessed than Ronnie. I mean,
I'm not sure who Ronnie is, but I'll take it. I'll take the compliment.
you
for
saw
it.
Ronnie before
Met
the
Ron
show.
earlier.
Oh! He seemed so nice.
He's sleeping in the corner right now. We woke him up long
Let's
enough
not
to say
disturb
hi
him,
for a second.
please.
No.
Yeah.
That was something that
Yeah.
So
seen that in the
special.
past.
as most people have figured by now, our guest today is Cora. So welcome to the show, and thank you for the
thank you
intro.
for
Having
coming
me.
on, joining in our shenanigans and our 2-year celebration.
Yes. So
Yeah, happy to be back.
maybe the listeners, the longtime listeners, know you by now. You're part of the family, but maybe for some
I
newer
know we
knit-
have some. I know for sure we have some new people. And I'll mention that when we get around word of my week. but-
Yeah, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, so people that may not know, which if you're anywhere in Hearthstone, you should, but maybe you don't.
Yeah.
You
Be
can tell us a
surprised
little
if you
bit about
didn't.
yourself and what you've
Yeah,
been
for
up
sure.
to.
So my name's Cora. I go by Songbird sometimes, but still most people just call me Cora. I am a Hearthstone player and streamer and caster. I've been playing since open beta. I've hit legend over 20 times now, with my highest rank ever being rank 3 legend. A lot of people know me for my Secret Paladin play, but that was like a year and a half ago. So since then, I've managed to build a somewhat of a career out of Hearthstone casting. So I actually went to college for broadcast communication. I recently just graduated with my bachelor's. And last year, for the So You Think You Can Cast Hearthstone edition, the very first version they did, I sent in a video and was chosen alongside people I'm sure you're familiar with, like Raven, Sawdle, D2, to start casting on the Hearthstone Championship Tour circuit. So since then, I did 2 events every season. I casted for the TESPA Collegiate Tournament Series last year. And I've got some more stuff coming up this year, so hopefully you'll be seeing a bit more of me.
Yep.
Yes. And where can they follow you? So when you get to announce what you're doing in the future, where can they follow you and pick up that info?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at songbird_HS. I'm on Twitter far too much, so if you ever need to reach me, you can message me there or tweet at me. I'll always see it. I also stream 5 days a week now, twitch.tv/Sage Cora. And I stream from 12 p.m. Central until 3 p.m. Central, and it's just it's a chill ladder stream usually. So we just hit 3,000 followers, so we're going to be doing like a Jackbox
Excellent.
TV celebration stream with some of my viewers coming up this week. So it's a fun time. I hope you stop by.
Oh, well, congrats on that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and congrats on the graduating. That's also
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
even
thing that's
more
happened since
awesome.
I've been
that
back
takes
here. It's,
that takes a lot of dedication. I mean, it's
yeah, and I did it in under 4 years.
wow,
So like 3 1/3.
you're just killing it.
Yeah.
And traveling
Well, I had
for
to get out so I could make that sweet Hearthstone money
Ah.
and pay off those sweet college loans.
Ooh,
So that's what we're focusing on now.
yes.
Follow your heart. Enjoy what you're doing. And just go
Yeah.
for it.
And in the interest of shameless plugging, I
Please,
also do a
pluggity
podcast
plug.
called Coin Concede.
Mhm.
We record every Wednesday, and you can find us on coinconcede.com.
Yep, we're
cool.
very
Cool.
familiar.
We
with
haven't quite gotten to 2 years yet, but
You're not too far behind us.
we hit a year. I think we're like episode 60 something. So
Yeah.
we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I got you on. You guys are in my Hearthstone queue. I listen every week.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, so if you ever watch any of the HCT, undoubtedly you
Yep.
would have seen Cora and her casting. She's done there's the 3-person desk most of the time, right? That's how it works. Or
It started as a 3-person desk.
have you done 2-person too?
Then, yeah, about halfway through the seasons, they moved it to a 2-person desk. So instead of host and 2 analysts, it's now just 1 host, 1 analyst. So I started off mostly analyzing, and then since then have moved into more of like a desk host position. So I'm the one that, like, you come back on the screen and you see me first, and I start talking, and then I
Cool.
introduce the analyst, who's, generally much smarter than me, and sometimes it's Brian Kibler, and then you just forget that I'm there anyway because, he's got perfect teeth, and it's a great time.
I have-
Sometimes it's DJ, and you're like, wow, this guy's funny. Who's she anyway? It's awesome. I love it. I love it so much.
I think you're not giving yourself credit, but
Yeah.
yes, I was gonna ask you about casting with some of these guys that, like, Brian Kibler, like, designs card
Yes.
games. He knows this
Yep.
beyond any of us ever wanting to get close to him, and you're trying to cast alongside him. It's gotta be an intimidating thing.
You know
Kinda
what?
daunting.
It would have been more intimidating if I had ever played Magic the Gathering, but I hadn't. And you know what? He's so intelligent that he just, like, as long as you set him up to sound smart, he's going to make you look good by comparison. So I'm just like, so Brian, can you explain blah, blah, blah? And he's like, well, yeah, of course I can. And I'm like,
Oh, so he's
let me
he's the
sit and listen.
perfect he's the perfect co-host or whatever for that. You just feed him a couple of lines and kick
Just give
back
him some
and
lines and let him do all the work. No, but
There
I mean,
you go.
I've also casted with plenty of other people. I do a lot of casting with Admirable, who's fantastic, also incredibly intelligent. I've casted with DJ, obviously Frodan, Savitz, Raynad, like, you name the caster, I've probably been on a desk with them, which I'm incredibly fortunate to have had those experiences already.
So
Especially since last year was literally my first year doing it, and they kind of just threw me to the sharks, and somehow I managed to swim. And
let me ask.
now here I am.
Are you the only female, or has there been any? I don't remember seeing any others.
I was the only one on the HCT circuit last year. Hopefully there will be some more this year. I don't know for sure. I know there were some females in Southeast Asia. There was Pathra. There was Gia has recently been doing some SEA work. That's all I really know of. I'm sure there's more, but nobody has done Hearthstone Championship Tour work except for me last year.
Okay. Well,
That's excellent. There's always got to be the first one, and then, hopefully you inspire.
Breaking down doors.
Yeah, kind of paves the way for some other ladies out there that want to get into the scene. It's not
As long as they don't take my job, that's totally fine.
yeah. No,
I'll welcome them with
you'll
open
be-
arms as long as they don't take my word.
you'll be the OG having to lead the way in for
That's
them.
right.
I'll just mama bear all of these young fledgling
Yes.
women.
Young. She's
There
saying
you
young to us, Dan.
Yeah.
As if I'm not a child myself.
Oh man. No, I was about to comment.
I mean, in Hearthstone years,
Yes.
I'm okay.
Hearthstone years were all about the same age because
Yeah,
we've all
Hearthstone
been
years were all
about playing
doing
it since
okay.
it came out.
Yeah. No,
About.
if it was this environment when I was your age, I don't blame you for what you're. No, actually, I would try to do what you're doing. I attempted to do it as a married man with a family. It doesn't work too well.
Trying to do some
I had
tournaments.
a couple other priorities, maybe. I'm
Yeah.
very fortunate that I still live with my parents, and they haven't decided to kick me out anytime soon, and I have no real obligations at this point other than trying to make a career
Take-
out of this.
Take
So-
advantage of it and,
Yeah.
and build on what you got.
I think it's like any other artist. It takes a little bit until, to break through
Yeah.
or whatever. You've made a lot of progress, but I know that it's a tough field and it's challenging. But you know,
You know what? At the very least, I'm always saying, you know what? Hearthstone will pay for my college. At the very least,
you
I
go.
spent 3.5 years working off college loans, playing a card game, and that's something that not a lot of people can say.
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, even if it doesn't work out and I have to go get a job with my degree, then I'm incredibly lucky. So
And you can still
just
play
doing it as
Hearthstone.
long as I can.
very good. So in terms of competitive scene, are you trying to win tournaments and go to the HCT, or are you kind of not trying to do that from a competitive perspective?
So I pretty much took all of last year off from the competitive scene. I still hit Legendary month. But I hadn't played in tournaments or tried to earn points
What, you
because I
mean you didn't
was.
try and finish college, do broadcasting for Blizzard,
Um,
and try and play in tournaments?
You've
it
Come
been
was
on.
it was a bit of a balancing act, but
just sitting
I got
around
through
at
it.
home doing
But it
nothing.
was honestly, I would have if I were eligible to play for the championship tour. But since I was casting a lot of it last year, it simply wasn't possible. I
True.
have other things that I will be casting, and I might be casting some of the championship tour this year. But it is possible that I could end up playing some seasons. So I have been. I did an Open Cup. I did a Tavern Hero qualifier. I'm trying to sort of dip my toes in the water of competition again and see if I really want to even try and do that, or if I just want to focus on streaming and still casting and being as competitive as possible while still not being a professional player
Mhm.
anymore. So I don't know. I'm kind of toying around with the idea. We'll see if it works out, I guess.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with just staying good at the game and casting and working for Blizzard, doing tournaments and stuff a couple times a year. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be a bad gig.
And
I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
there's a few
I
people around that might take that.
ideally I become like the premier female caster, and then they're like, all right, we're doing a caster tournament or a personality tournament. Who are we going to invite? We're like, we should invite
Mhm.
her because she's cool. And it's like, great, I'll come, I'll play. That sounds like fun. Like,
Exactly.
who knows? That
Exactly.
it could be a while before we get there.
Well,
But
luckily,
ideally, people just ask me to play in their tournaments,
I
and
think
I will.
Hearthstone's got some legs to it. So,
huh?
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
At
and
the
might be
very
around
least, I'd
for a
like to
while.
go to a DreamHack this year and play in one of those.
hey,
That'd be fun.
this is Dan's
Come
favorite
on down.
topic, and he didn't bring it
DreamHack.
up this
Hey,
time.
I didn't have to bring it up this
Nice little
show.
segue into it.
Oh no, I don't ever mention almost every show how we already got our tickets and hotel
That's so
reservations.
exciting, though. That's
But
awesome.
It's gonna be a good time. Now
yes, it is.
we're talking competitively, and we have asked our guests recently, with all this talk about the meta or the state of the game. Do you have any kind of opinions? Are you enjoying where we're at, or are you thinking it's time for something to change?
I do think that there are certainly changes that need to be made as far as rotating certain cards out of standard. And obviously when the next adventure comes out, we're going to see the natural rotation of Blackrock Mountain, League of Explorers, and Grand Tournament out of standard and into wild. So I think that will influence the standard meta quite a bit. Pirates, obviously, are what's on a lot of people's minds because Patches and Small Time Buccaneer are incredibly strong in weapon classes right now. I'm not so worried for Shaman because we'll be losing Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem. Pirate Warrior does give me a bit of pause because they're not losing too much. And we're losing Reno Jackson, which is a large piece of the meta as well, and a certainly large piece of the Cabal decks. So I really have been enjoying Mean Streets. I really love the tri-class concept. I think it's fun. I think it's fresh. I think it's really great. I think it's a little bit disappointing that it's sort of come down to pirates essentially for the entirety
all the
of the weapons
tri-class
classes.
stuff, and the biggest thing to come is Patches.
It started as tri-class and it's ended up being pirates versus Kazakus and Reno.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't think it's what they intended it to be, but I do think it's a relatively healthy meta. We're seeing still some good diversity. Even if the majority of the classes are weapon classes versus Reno classes, and you have none of Hunter.
I actually think
Paladin.
Reno itself may not necessarily be the problem. It's the large card pool that supports the one-off decks, right? Because one of the weaknesses of the one-off decks is, well, you may have to put some cards that are not as good. But with the card pool that we have, it is huge. There's good stuff everywhere. So even, let's pretend that Reno State and Kazakus, which is a pretty powerful combination, but you lose a bunch of the other support stuff, then maybe the power level goes down. So you have to put some garbage cards that are not as good just because you need something to fill out the deck. But right
you
now,
have 30 great cards.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway,
yeah, but I mean, I've been toying around with a lot of trying to get my hands on every single deck, and now that I'm playing Hearthstone at least 3 hours a day for streaming, I'm trying to just test out everything that I can. and really learn all the decks. I played a ton of Rogue this month and last month, which was entirely new for me because I am not a Rogue player. But I finally got my 500 wins playing some Miracle Rogues. That was a feat in and of itself. That took a while.
You're
Been playing
me.
a lot of Reno Mage, which I really
hurting
enjoy.
me with this Rogue thing. It's my favorite class.
I'm so sorry, Frid. I hate it so much.
Oh no!
I hate it. There's a reason it took me 3.5 years to get 500 wins with Rogue because I just cannot stand it. Okay, I can't stand Miracle Rogue. I've hated Miracle Rogue since Leroy Shadowstep, Leroy Prep Eviscerate was a thing.
Oh my god.
That gave me nightmares, and ever since then it's just, oh god, I don't know. I don't know what it is about Rogue, but I so much more enjoy Control Warrior or
That's awesome.
Druid, God, even Hunter. I'd even rather play Hunter right now than Miracle Rogue.
That's fine. It's okay. We'll allow you to stay.
You know what? Not everybody had the passion about Secret Paladin that I had. You know, a lot of people hated that deck. I was in the wrong there.
Oh, man. You're with Dan. Dan's a Paladin guy. He's suffering right now because there's not, other than the Murlocs, there's a whole...
See, first week of Trinity series, G2 swept Alliance with the Finja Paladin.
Yeah.
It's got potential. It looks pretty nice. I don't have Finja myself. That's one deck that I do need to test.
I wonder if the buff Paladin after the rotation will be strong. I don't know. The buff your hand thing, what is it, the Grim...
Yeah.
Grimy Goons, whatever they're called.
Grimy Goons, yeah. Basically all of the Grimy Goons has kind of gotten pushed out. But I know Ben Brode and Dean Ayala have said things like, you know, Rat Pack is a very strong card in and of itself, and maybe not in this current meta, but with, you know, the next rotation, Hunter could be seeing a resurgence. And Hand Buff Paladin actually is not a bad deck.
Yeah.
Like even, you know, my dad plays Hearthstone just for fun, and he was playing like a Dragon Hand Buff Paladin, and he wanted me to play one game against him, and he destroyed me. I'm like, huh, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Like, there are decks that people aren't trying because unfortunately right now they're just a bit too slow, or they're not slow enough.
Yeah.
Like you can't really be between Pirates and Reno because you're either the fastest or you're the slowest.
Yeah.
And to be anywhere in the middle is kind of hedging your bets a little bit too much. But I do think there's potential with the Grimy Goons. I think the hand buff mechanic will only get better, whereas the others will get worse.
Yeah, it seems like it's like a couple of cards off from being really consistent, because that's the problem. Like it could fizzle out, or be too slow. But just a quick update from the chat. There's some talk here about Zeroshio saying that he's trying to get Cora to come to DreamHack Atlanta, and then we have Zeroshio piling on that Rogue is his least favorite as well. What is going on? I'm ganging up. And then
Zeroshio has become one of my faithful stream viewers. So yeah, he's been trying to get me to come to DreamHack Atlanta. He's the one that first told me about the podcast meetup. So who knows? I still haven't had a chance to talk to Coin Concede, but we'll see.
And we have Blake Hall saying that you've reached legend rank in real life because of college. So
my degree was real life legend card back.
That's right.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll actually use that one as opposed to the legend card back. I haven't used that in 2 years.
Yep. Okay,
Excellent.
well, anything else you want to cover here before we move on to, of course, this is HearthCoach, so there's a couple of business things. Before I forget. So, all right. Number one is that we have a tournament coming up February the 4th. So if you're a patron of rank 15 or above, you can sign up and participate. There's prize money again, like before. We'll cast it live. It'll be the Golden Card Challenge with Dan. So come hang out. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, February the 4th. Oh, wait a second. I forgot this part. This is the day before the Super Bowl, in which my Atlanta Falcons are going to participate, which nobody's giving them credit to even have a chance.
Who are they playing against?
The Patriots. It's going to be tough.
Okay.
But we want to beat...
I'm so glad it's not the Steelers.
We want to beat up Tom Brady all over the place. So we're looking...
I mean, I'm a Bears fan, so football is a touchy subject in general.
I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I've been a Jacksonville fan, so yeah.
I don't know. My Falcons are going all... This is the year. This is it.
You know what? I'll root for him. I got your back on this one, Fred. I can't agree with Rogue, but I have no alliance to the Patriots, so we'll go with the Falcons.
There we go.
So,
Go Falcons.
so yeah, that Saturday before Super Bowl is the tournament. So come check it out. Another thing is a listener suggested that we use. He wrote in. I don't have his name handy, but we use the Innkeeper, which is a tool that Hearthbound, that website Hearthbound, provides that lets you upload the decks into their tool. So if you use this tool, then you can pull the deck into Hearthstone automatically. Or I guess it makes it easier to build than the little snapshot that we put on the episode. So I've done that, and I put the link so you can get that. You can get the deck that we're gonna play from Hearthstone. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here on the chat so people can go ahead and see it.
Cool.
So there's that. Let me see. A couple more things. Oh, jeez. With Fresh Guy, if you haven't been keeping up with him, keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He had
Yes.
some kind of close call with a procedure that they were trying to do that didn't go how it should have been, and it was quite a scare. But he's stable, so just keep thinking about him and sending him your good thoughts because he's not out of the woods yet. But hopefully, with all the good vibes that are around the community, because I've seen it on Twitter, a lot of people showing support. He'll pull through.
And just real quick, while we're on the serious subjects, for my ongoing family situation is coming to its rather unfortunate conclusion here in the next few days. So I'll leave that at that. My Hearthstone play will return to normal in a week or two.
Okay.
So that's that. So there, all the serious stuff there together, done, put away.
Yep.
Now
Dan, you have
shall continue celebrating our 2 years.
Yeah, you have a shout out here, so you may want to.
Cool.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry.
On the notes, he said.
Okay, we're doing my week. Gotcha.
Well, no, after your week, right? Yeah.
Well. Okay. Well, the rest of my week. Before I get to my shout out, it's been better. Even though I haven't had as much time to play, been you playing the quick. You're gonna love this, Cora. The pirate warrior.
Right on.
I was able to bang out a few games that way, and at least I broke through to 8, and I've been hanging around 8, 9. Just busting out a few quick games when I can with that. So that's been going better. That's been my Hearthstone week. I think I've been figuring out doing the mulligans a little bit better. I haven't been keeping hands that look, in quotation marks, look good. I've been throwing them away for the cards I actually need to be keeping. So I think I've been doing a little bit better with that, but with the Pirate Warrior, I struggle with trying to figure out the wins if I'm not drawing, pretty good hands. Even a so-so hand ends up being really difficult, and if I draw a bad hand, I just can't figure out how to pull out a win. And as successful as people are with this deck, there's got to be ways to do it. I'm just still trying to figure that out. So that's my Hearthstone week. Real quick, new listener, Warchild. I don't know if he made it into the chat tonight. He hit me up last night with real good timing. It was really nice. He was very complimentary. He's went back and over the last couple of months started listening to every single episode. So.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Back catalog.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he was up to like 100 when I talked with him last night. And
that's a fan.
Yes, and one of the things he said that I found real interesting is that he found it interesting hearing the evolution of Hearthstone through our gameplay over hearing what different metas and cards have come in and out over the course of time, which I thought was kind of neat to hear. And
it's like started with Undertaker, and then we went through what would have been this? All the Mech Mage, Doctor Boom, the Secret Paladin stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Man, games changed so much in the last couple of years.
I know. It's
That's
kind of
sure.
cool to look back at that. Cool.
So that was pretty cool. It was real nice. We had a real pleasant conversation, and he has excellent taste in music. So, and
Very
some
respectable.
music conversations, and so I wanted to give him a shout out. He tried to holler at me tonight to check and see if he had the channel for the Twitch, and I didn't get a chance to holler back at him because the timing was just crazy. I was getting an update from my brother about things, and a game had started, and then he tried to talk to me, and so anyway, brother, here's your shout out. Glad to have you on board, and that is going to cover my week, and I will be quiet.
Yeah, I played Rogue, which is that's what you're supposed to do in this game. I made it.
I was unaware. I never got that memo.
I
Quick, let me write it down so I remember it later.
made it to rank.
Burn the paper and
Got it.
forget I ever played the class Rogue.
I made,
Unless it's Arena, where it's good.
I made it to rank 3 with the Rogue, and then Dan, there was a trap set for me. A priest
There.
quest appeared, and I said, "Oh, Dragon Priest is always fun."
No,
And down I went to rank 4 pretty quickly.
your heart.
It seems
You know
like
what?
it
I
should.
firmly believe that people have their soul classes. Like you have the class that you can just always do well with, and then there's just something. There's like a class that just fights you. You're just not meant to play it. For me, that's Rogue. For you, it might be Priest. You know?
We often talked
No.
about how priest just breaks our hearts, and
Yeah.
it's usually with dragons.
So much fun, so much potential, and it doesn't seem to work.
Be
So,
riding on high and
It's-
looking at a
it's-
nice wind streak, and then
It's
Yeah.
okay right now.
it'll
It's
end.
thoroughly unimpressive, but not the worst.
yeah.
No, I've had some fun with it. I've actually had a little bit of success. That's actually what I think. I played a lot up to 12, but kind of got stuck there.
Yeah. So I
Drunken
guess
Imperative is a good card.
super briefly, Cora, your week. I know you've been streaming, so if people have
Yeah.
been watching, they'll know. But maybe give us a quick what you've been up to in Hearthstone.
Playing a little bit of everything. So I got up to rank 1 with Dragon Warrior and then dropped back down to 3. And then yesterday on stream played this list that we're actually about to play a little bit here. And went right back up to 1 in like an hour. Won every game in rank 2, right back up to rank 1 star, and then lost 10 games in a row and went back down to rank 3. And then off stream I went down to rank 4,
Oh.
and then this morning I went down to rank 5.
Oh,
But then on stream today, I played Reno Mage and Jade Shaman up to rank 3 again. So we're sitting at 3,
oof.
kind of taking a break because we've been up and down so much that it's getting a little tiring. But my legend climb is never easy. It always involves some up and down. So I'll
little hair
probably
pulling, little
Yeah.
screaming.
Yes.
some tears, some sweat.
Hey, no, I
Uh,
think it's good. I mean, the same thing happens to me, but I'm not all the way through. I always have those declines. They're well documented in the podcast. So, but it's good for people to
Yeah.
hear that are still trying and they think, oh, these guys just make it. No, I mean, there's
It's a
ebbs and
struggle.
flows, and
All 24 times I've done it have been terrible. Every single one of them.
it's never like, oh, this was easy. No.
Never like, wow, I got there in 4 days. This was awesome.
Yeah,
It always takes me like until the last week of the month. But
cool.
Cool.
Well,
we
we
can
had
do it. You can do it too.
We had the big meta change, and we went to I think it was around when we went to standard and stuff. Ooh, I struggled for quite a while just to even get back to single digits.
I
That
remember
was
that. That was rough.
that was well documented. But I'm glad made it back to 8 though. Already hitting single digits again. So yeah, all's
Awesome.
good. All's right in the world.
All right, and then the last bit of business is we had another iTunes review from No Pun Intended.
His name's longer than the review. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, it's
That's
5-star
awesome.
review. I'll take 100 of them. That's great.
Yeah. The name
100 one-word 5-star reviews.
he said
Easily.
Sure.
his name of the user is no pun intended. It was a 5-star review, and the title of the review was majestic. So that's all it said, which I'll take. I love it.
That's great. That's good word choice.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort. It's just tremendous.
Okay,
It
so
counts.
now that that's all out of the way,
Yes.
let's
Are we?
have Cora take us through what she's prepared for us here on
All
Shaman's
right.
deck. And as you know, it's for the audio, so if you can read out the cards and give us why they're there and how it all works, appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this is not my deck. I actually got it from Brian Kibler, who streamed with it a few days ago. And I chose it because it is a ton of fun. It's an interesting take on a mid-range Jade Shaman. And you have it titled Natural Selection, which I think is particularly fitting because it is an Evolve Shaman. So starting off, you have 2 copies of Evolve. They work very well with the Jade mechanic, which we also have in the list, and then are in there especially for 2 cards, which we'll see later on. So 2 copies of Evolve, 1 copy of Spirit Claws. It is pretty much a Shaman auto-include. If there were any changes that I was going to make to this list, a 2nd copy of Spirit Claws would likely be included in that. But for our purposes, this isn't the most consistent deck. It's not your most competitive deck, but it is a lot of fun. So 1 copy of Spirit Claws, 1 copy of Blood Mage Thalnos, works very well with Maelstrom Portal, works great with Spirit Claws, and this deck is also very limited on draw. So any cycle that you can have is really fantastic. So Blood Mage Thalnos, very multifaceted. A copy of Manatide Totem would also fit in this list really well. Unfortunately, we don't have room for it, but it would, I think, fit in here very well. So the next card is 1 copy of Devolve. So this is one that not a lot of people are playing around with, and I think it's actually really, really great in this meta, especially because of your favorite deck, Frid, the Rogue deck, which you have your opponents, playing 14/14 Edwin Van Cleefs, Gadgets and Auctioneer plus Questing Adventurer and Concealing. Devolve makes all of that go away. You can devolve your opponent's concealed Gadgets and Questing, and they're gone. And of course, they're still replaced with a 2-drop and a 4-drop, but it's a lot more manageable. So it's sort of board clear light, but in a lot of cases, it's fantastic, and it's really come in very handy. So I don't think 2 is right. I think 2 might be too many. So 1 copy of Devolve, I think, fits perfectly in this list.
So
2 copies of Flame Tongue Toad.
I'll mention something here. One of our previous guest hosts, Language Hacker, he's getting pretty serious. He almost won a tournament last week against Trump. He almost beat him.
Oh, wow.
He's playing a version of this with 2 devolves. So
okay.
It's I've seen him play it, and concealed stuff, all of a sudden you devolve and it's like, oh no, my plan is ruined. So
it's really dirty. Like, your opponent will not see it coming because what shaman has devolve? Like, come on. So you know what? I could see 2 copies for the consistency just because you really need one of them. But this list is already very full. There are changes that Brian Kibler made. He ended up taking out the key minion that sort of defines this deck and just making it an evolved shaman without that. So if you're making changes, 2nd evolve wouldn't be first on my list, but I could see it working. So 2 copies.
Maybe if you're going into a specific tournament situation, you kind of got a little bit more idea
Rogue.
what you're going into. That might be, what these decks and what somebody might play in a tournament might not necessarily match up perfectly.
Yeah, your ladder build and your ladder tech choices are very different from your tournament tech choices because of the ban system. So if you know that you want to target Rogue, for instance, because a lot of people are bringing Rogue, 2 copies of Devolve could be great because a lot of Rogues have 2 copies of Conceal. So that's definitely something to think of. But for ladder purposes, 1 copy is pretty good.
Which is what we're doing.
Yeah. All right, 2 copies of Flame Tongue Totem. It's standard. It makes your totems actually usable. It buffs up your Jade minions that are rather small and allows you to trade up with your opponent's boards. And for 2 mana, Flame Tongue Totem is one of the cards that I could see being rotated out of standard, or even just having the stats nerfed a little bit. It's incredibly strong, and 2 copies of it is pretty much an auto add in any Shaman deck. 2 copies of Jade Claws. So because you only have 1 Spirit Claws, 2 copies of Jade Claws is fantastic. 2 attack kills your opponent's small-time Buccaneers, kills your opponent's spell damage totems, which you really, really need to get off the board, and helps you ramp your Jades very quickly. So that's sort of what we're going for here. You need to ramp up your Jade minions as quickly as possible, and you need to mitigate your opponent's damage because we're going to be running into a lot of aggro on the ladder. So Jade Claws is very important. 2 copies of Maelstrom Portal also help you deal with those pesky aggro decks. Pirates in the early game have a lot of 1 health minions. Maelstrom Portal with the addition of Blood Mage Thalnos, or the spell damage totem, or the Azure Drakes, which you'll see later on, is just a fantastic board clear. It's really, really good. And gives you a 1-drop minion on your side of the board as well, which can help clear off even more small, annoying pirates. 1 copy of Bran Bronzebeard. So Bran is in here because he works very well with the Jade mechanic. He lets you get, 2 Jades instead of 1 with your Jade Spirit, with your Aya Blackpaw, with your Jade Chieftain, and even with Jade Claws. If you play Bran Bronzebeard and then you attach a Jade Claws, you get 2 Jade minions as well as your weapon. Because technically it is a weapon with Battle Cry. So he's really, really flexible in here. And also, we're playing Jinyu Water Speaker. So Bran plus Jinyu Water Speaker on turn 7 is a 12 health heal, plus 2 minions on the board. So he's very flexible. He's really good. 2 copies of Hex. So this is a mid-range shaman. You're going to need your hard removal. Hex is some of the best hard removal in the game. Single target hard removal. So 2 copies of it, really fantastic against, say, Reno Warlock, which has Mountain Giants and Twilight Drakes early on. The Rogues with the Questing Adventurers, the Gadgetsons, good against Tomb Pillager, Edwin Van Cleef, of course. There's a lot of great Hex targets in this meta right now. And Hex is just, and maybe not necessary in your aggro shamans, but in your mid-range shamans, you're going to want 2 copies of Hex. 1 copy of Lightning Storm. So because you have 2 copies of Maelstrom Portal, it's not always going to kill the mid-range health minions, your 3-4 health minions. It's good for smaller minions. You want some form of AoE board clear for those bit meatier minions, and that's where the Lightning Storm is going to come in. If you can combo that with Wrath of Air Totem or with Blood Mage Thalnos, you can deal 3-4 damage to your opponent's board. Sometimes it's as good as Flame Strike. And for 3 mana, you're overloaded the next turn, but it comes in really handy against other Shaman decks, which often have 3 or 4 health minions. You got your Feral Spirit tokens, Totem Golems, all of their totems, Tunnel Trogs. The Lightning Storm can give you an edge in that matchup where your early game is going to be a little bit slower because you don't have the Pirate package, you don't have Tunnel Trog, you don't have Totem Golem. All of those traditional Shaman cards, you're missing. So you're a lot of time going to be playing from behind very early on, but that's what this deck is really good at. It sort of plays on the back foot in the early game and then will kill other control decks in the late game with ramping the Jades. Yep. 2 copies of Jade Lightning. Just like there are a lot of Hex targets, there are a lot of 4 health minions being run around, specifically Rogue with Tomb Pillager. You're seeing Azure Drake everywhere. With spell damage, this can kill 5 health minions, and you get a Jade. It's a fantastic card. Also can be burn damage. If you're dealing enough damage and just need 4 damage to face to win the game, there's your burn. You're not running Lightning Bolt, you're not running Lava Burst, so Jade Lightning is pretty much your flexibility in that market.
You know what it's really good against? It's this class that runs minions that have 4 health that is known as Rogue because it has Tomb Pillagers and Azure Drakes. Like, no! Yep. Why?
This deck it's kind of the Rogue killer.
Yes.
As long as you can get to the late game safely. If you do fall too far behind in the early game and the Rogue is able to kill you quickly, you're going to have trouble. But with your solid, single target removal, with your heal from Jinyu Water Speaker, it's pretty solid against Rogue decks. All right, 2 copies of Jade Spirit. These are your most standard Jade minions in the deck. It's just the 4 mana 2/3 summon a Jade Golem. It's not the strongest card in the deck, but when combined with Bran Bronzebeard, it's very good. Or when played for 3/3 or above Jade Golem, really, it's worth it for the stats.
Yep.
So with this specific kind of Jade deck that we're building, we want 2 copies of Jade Spirit. In a lighter mid-range Jade build, you probably would want one. But here, it works fine for our purposes. 2 copies of Jinyu Water Speaker, 4 mana 3/6, heal 6 with 1 overload. The overload can be a little inconvenient, but in this meta, against a lot of aggressive decks, you're going to need the health.
You need those that 6 health can be the difference.
You need that 6 health. And the 3/6 body doesn't hurt either. Think of how annoying it is to remove a water elemental off the board. Now imagine a water elemental that healed your opponent for 6 health. Like, it's a really, really strong card. Not so strong in control matchups, but against aggro, absolutely key. 2 copies of Azure Drake, another one that a lot of people are throwing around for possibly being rotated out of Standard and out of the Classic set because it is just such an auto-include in so many decks. It is so strong for the stats. The ability to cycle is incredibly important in this deck because you have no card draw other than your Drakes and your Thalnos. And spell damage in Shaman is so much more necessary than in pretty much every other class. So the Azure Drakes are just an easy choice. And now we come to the most fun part of the deck. The part that unfortunately also makes it very inconsistent. It is 2 copies of Doppelgangster. So Doppelgangster is essentially Force of Nature, the updated nerfed Force of Nature, but in minion form. Which means that when played with Bran Bronzebeard, you get 5 copies of Doppelgangster. You get 5 2/2s instead of 3. And Doppelgangster is a 5 mana minion, meaning that you have 5 2/2 5 mana minions. So if you were to get the Dream, which would be Bran Bronzebeard, Doppelgangster, Evolve, you would end up with 5 6 mana minions and 1 4 mana minion.
I hope we get that at least once tonight. That'll be cool.
It's gross. It's so much fun. Absolutely amazing. And even if you just Doppelgangster Evolve for 3 6 mana minions, that's pretty good. There's a lot of great options in the 6 slot. Or if you just evolve your Jade Golems. Like, this is really, really, really fun. But unfortunately, because you don't have a lot of draw, it is sort of a combo deck of sorts. A lot of times you're going to get stuck with your Doppelgangsters and no evolves, or vice versa. So it's kind of hard to pull off. But when you do, and hopefully you're up against a class that doesn't have great AoE removal, it's awesome. It's really, really sweet. So I'm hoping that we manage to pull off at least a Doppelgangster Evolve, because it's really, really fun.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep, can't wait for that.
I've had it happen to me.
Oh.
I've been like, "Whoa, wait, what happened? Those 2/2s are awfully big now. Wait a minute.
Did you get Karen Bloodhope, Sylvanas, and a 6/6? What happened here?"
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, something like that. I don't remember exactly what they were. I just went, "Huh? Wait a minute."
Unfortunately, you can also now get Big Time Rocketeer, which is a 1/1 for 6 mana. So that's unfortunate.
Ooh.
But you can't get Doomsayer, so there's at least that.
That's right.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's when you can get Doomsayer off of whatchamacallit, right?
The totems.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll try to avoid that. I did that on stream the other day, and it wasn't too fun. All right, so your 6th slot is going to be 1 copy of Aya Blackpaw, because she is the Jade Queen. It would be a travesty to have a Jade mid-range deck that did not have Aya Blackpaw in it. She's fantastic. 2 copies of Thing from Below. You don't have a lot of early game, so in your early game you could be using that hero power quite a bit, which means that in the late game you can, use spell damage Lightning Storm plus a Thing from Below on the same turn. To help you regain back that board control. So Thing from Below is really fantastic. And then 2 copies of Jade Chieftain. The 7 mana 5/5 that summons a Jade Golem and gives it Taunt. It is the only Jade mechanic that gives your Golem Taunt. And if you play it in the later game and you can get a 5/5 with Taunt, or a 6/6 with Taunt, or even an 8/8 with Taunt, it can be very strong and very effective at shutting down your opponent's minion combat. So Jade Chieftain, very strong. Really nice. A little slow. I think in any other deck, maybe you would want one of them. But for our purposes, we're going full Jade. We're going full combo. So 2 Jade Chieftains is going to round out this list.
So,
I love it.
No Trogs, no Totem Golems, no Patches the Pirate. This is...
We're just going to kind of hope that we don't die in the early game. Because if we make it to the late game, it's wild.
Yeah.
And I won like 7 games in a row with this list exactly, and then I promptly lost 10, but the 7 that I won, I felt great
Tremendous.
about.
What are you?
I
You're
felt
losing to?
awesome.
You're getting run over by aggro, or
Aggro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Run over by aggro or running out of cards against control
So maybe
is also a problem.
some healing. I'm just
I
thinking.
mean, we've got the Jinyu Water Speaker. I think Kibler is running it now. He actually took out the Doppelgangsters,
Okay.
which obviously is disappointing, but it makes the deck more consistent. So he took those out. He is still running Evolve. May have added the Pirate package. I'm not possible. I'm not positive. You could take out, 1 copy of Jade Chieftain, both Doppelgangsters, 1 copy of Jade Spirit, and go for 2 Small Time Buccaneer, 1 Patches, 1 Southsea deckhand, and sort of run your mid-range Pirate Shaman, but with 2 copies of Evolve, essentially. But that's not quite as fun.
Yeah.
So
All right, Dan. I
Yeah.
think.
We're here.
everybody deserves to live the Doppelgangster dream at least one time.
That's right.
I have a golden one. Just that alone makes me want to try this for.
I think that would give you 3 golden 6-drops.
Yeah, like a golden
You evolve it.
Sylvanas that I don't have. Yeah. I think
That'd
you
be
could go
neat.
ahead and queue up, Dan. Let's go for it.
Well, I had a mulligan question.
Oh,
Is
yes.
there like a particular? Does it matter? Are we looking for a particular mulligan, or is it going to matter what we come up against more?
It will be a little bit matchup dependent, but
Okay.
against any aggressive deck you're wanting, Spirit Claws, Jade Claws, Maelstrom Portal, Devolve, pretty much the same as your standard
Gotcha.
mid-range shaman. Those weapons are probably the most important. Against control, you have a little bit more time to get on board, so then it would be possible to keep Jade Spirit, to keep your Azure Drake for cycle, but even still then you want weapons, because even Reno decks put down minions on 2 and 3 usually.
Okay, well, this isn't too bad. We got our weapon. We got opening up with a Jade Claws. I'm on the coin this one. Maelstrom Portal, Blood Mage Thalnos, and Jade Lightning. So we're going to keep the Jade Claws.
I'm getting there, Dan. It's
See. All right,
No
we're up against
worries.
a warrior.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to assume pirate until you see that it's not pirates.
So we're going to keep the Maelstrom Portal. Should we keep Maelstrom Portal and Blood Mage?
That's tough to say. I think the Jade Claws is an auto keep here. The Maelstrom
Oh, yeah.
Portal is very tempting because of the early pirates. I don't think you can keep the Blood Mage Thalnos, though. I think we
Okay.
do need to find
Jade
some
Lightning
of our
goes
own
back
minions
too,
to
right?
play.
Jade Lightning goes back.
You know what? I would almost consider keeping Jade Lightning for Frothing Berserker. I think I would just toss Blood Mage.
Alrighty. And we get an evolve for the Blood Mage.
Okay. Yeah, because if they have an uncontested Frothing Berserker, it can be very problematic.
But Blood Mage
And it came
Thalnos
back.
is
so in turn
really insistent on being here.
turn 1 was his turn and he passed. So
Okay. Well,
And
Blood Mage Thalnos, not the worst thing to draw there.
let me see. I've been trying to be more conservative these days. Normally, I would coin out Jade Claws, but I'm tempted to wait to see what our friend does.
I also think I would like to wait.
Alright.
Because at this point, either he's a pirate warrior with a bad hand and no 1-drop, or he's control warrior.
And
And if
there.
he's control warrior, we are definitely going to want to play it a little bit slow. But
Okay.
also, I think we're in a pretty good spot if it's control warrior. Our deck is
mm-hmm.
a Jade deck at the end of the day, and control decks kind of have a hard time beating Jades.
All right. Well, we already got a revolve card.
This is Control Warrior. Looks like as he just armored up and pass.
Yeah, that's what it's
So-
looking like.
So we can start toteming. But anyway, I'll let our coach do the coaching.
Oh, we drew. Yeah, we drew the. That's right. You just get the call tonight. All right. So I drew a Jade Spirit. So I got the Jade Spirit, Blood Mage, Coin, Maelstrom Portal, Evolve. Now I would just go ahead and play the claws. and get the Jade Golem thing going.
I would totem.
Oh, really?
Because here's
Okay.
the thing: if you're playing Jade Claws this turn, you're going to totem next turn anyway because you'll be overloaded.
Okay.
Unless you can coin out Jade Spirit. But a lot of times, Control Warriors will run weapon removal, just because they need it to exist in the early game against the aggro decks and not die very quickly. And the more totems we get, the cheaper our thing from belows are.
All right. So
yeah.
that's what I did. I totemed out
Yeah,
the healing totem.
The totems are a pain for control warriors. It's always a problem. Now,
Yeah.
there's the brawl thing, which makes them worse. But anyway, he armored up again, so.
Oh, look at that! No, we already have Doppelganger
combo.
and Evolve in our hand,
All right.
so
So
that's fun.
there's only one problem:
What's that?
is that Control Warrior will run 2 copies of Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So essentially, we're gonna need to try to bait out the Brawl before we move in with Doppelgangster Evolve, or
Gotcha.
we just kind of go for it and hope they don't have it. We do have a couple options here. The totems
Alright.
are really annoying,
Okay.
and they do represent a threat to the warrior. So I don't think toteming would be bad. I think we kind of want to save the coin because Doppelgangster coin evolve on 5. The more time we give him to draw Brawl, the more higher chance that he'll have it.
Okay, so just make a totem.
Yeah, I think I would totem.
In my hand, I got Doppelganger, the Jade Spirit, Blood Mage, Coin, Maelstrom Portal, Jade Claws, Evolve, and Jade Lightning.
If this is truly a control warrior, this game will last until tomorrow, but that's okay.
This is going to be a long one. We're in for a ride here.
All right, so he
Alrighty.
armored up again. He's just drawing cards, basically. And we're not doing much.
We drew Aya Blackpaw.
Whew.
So we had
Right, so what are you thinking here?
I would be tempted to throw out the Jade Spirit now.
Yeah,
we
I like it.
Okay. Because we were getting a little bit full in the hand.
Is the Jade's going somehow?
If we want to go full combo next turn, we could play Doppelgangster Coin Evolve on the following turn, which would give us a full board of 7. It would give us 3 2-drops, 3 6-drops, and 1 5-drop.
Might have to try that just to force him to have Brawl.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to do that just to see, just because.
I think
You have
just
to assume that the Control Warrior will never mulligan for Brawl in this matchup.
I think just for the celebration purposes, we need to do that. But
Just
let's
gotta
see.
Even if we do it, we can follow up with Aya Blackpaw.
Oh.
It is Cthulhu Warrior.
Craze Worshipper comes down. Whoa. Okay.
He might not even have Brawl in this deck.
No, they do, right?
Yeah, they're still going to run 2 copies of it.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we just do it, huh? Just because we can, or
Well,
you think is that bad?
I mean, we do have the other option of Jade Lightning and Spirit Claws,
just to kill it straight up.
just to kill it.
Okay.
Well, let's see how much does it give it? +2/+2. Well, that's not too much.
It would give Cthulhu +2/+2 because we would be hitting it
Twice, yes.
Twice.
Honestly, I would actually hit it with our Jade probably and go face with the weapon. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to you, Dan. If you want to play Doppelgangster, I give you my blessing.
Well, no. What would be
So,
the?
I would probably Jade Lightning, the Craze Worshipper,
And then
run in with your 1/1 Jade Golem,
you
and
Spirit
then I would
Claw
play
the
Spirit
face?
Claws and hit him in the face.
Really? Okay.
You gotta chip away at that armor at some point.
Yeah.
We do have a Jade Claws in our hand as well, and while the Cthulhu Warrior does have more minions than the Control Warrior, it's still not a crazy amount.
Yeah.
And we have to get value out of our AoE at some point, which will hopefully be on those minions. So a lot of our weapon damage.
I mean, if it
Won't be
doesn't clean this, we could play the Aya, I guess. Just the car comes down. Okay.
Okay. So
Our other Jade Lightning.
we could play Aya and bait the Brawl that way.
Okay.
And
I
we'll
like
Be
that.
very
We run our
Force him to have it.
face. We run
That
our
would-
face into Justic,
Yes.
right?
Yes, and then hit face for 4. Because this is a scary board.
Yeah.
Aya Blackpaw, a 3/3 Jade, a 2/3, a 2/2, and 2 totems is representing a lot of damage to the Control Warrior. They don't want to leave this up, even though 2 of the minions are doing essentially nothing right now.
I always play with the volume down because I'm playing on my phone. But I love that entrance. The little music
Golems
for
are
Aya.
its best.
It's pretty good.
So, anyway,
She's
I
fun.
did that. I did all that.
Yep.
Quick recap. My hand. I got Jade Lightning Doppelganger, Blood Mage Somnos. Still got the coin. We got Maelstrom Portal, the Jade Claws, and Evolve, and we can bait out at least one brawl. We'll throw down with a
We're
combo.
we're showing 15 damage, and some people run a random Bloodlust, so he needs to be careful here.
Yeah, I mean, if Bloodlust was in our hand right now and he didn't clear this board, that would be game.
So he needs to think here what's the play. The thing is, a brawl may leave 2 things up. But we'll see. It's Bran.
Okay, and Disciple of
Disciple
Cthulhu.
on the Aya. So he gets it to 12/12 on the Cthulhu and kills Aya. But that brings out a 4/4. Okay.
I draw a thing from below. I would be tempted to just. Let me see. Well, no, we can't leave Brian up. And no 1/1s. I guess I would use the 4/4 guy to clear Bran or Braun, whatever. Or no, don't want to use Maelstrom Portal here, do we? That would be. I'd be tempted to Maelstrom Portal and swing with my axe to clear the board. Because I don't
think
think we're
that's
going to see
actually
that
okay.
many.
Yeah,
You think that's
doesn't seem bad.
all
They're
right?
not. The Warrior's not going to have too many minions down at once. We've got another Maelstrom Portal and a Lightning Storm. And honestly, I would hit with all of your minions, and I would even be tempted to evolve this board.
All right.
Like, this is a lot of value. And hopefully we just don't get Doomsayer off of our 3/2 drops.
We're gonna do it.
Because that would sort of stink.
Did it. Done.
What do we get? All right, that's looking pretty good. So we've got Youthful Brewmaster, Museum Curator, Cryomancer, Silverhand Regent, Usher of Souls, Water Elemental, and Bilefin Tidehunter. So no Doomsayers today.
So now
So
we got a Cthulhu
you
card.
better have Brawl. He
Yeah.
couldn't have had it because he would have used it last
No,
time.
he maybe he clear the Aya. Oh no, he doesn't have it. He played Ancient Shield Bearer
And a Shield
And
Slam
Shield
on the
Slam
Usher of Souls.
on the 5/6. How much do we have? Let's count this up. 4, 9, 12,
The doppelganger.
15, 17, 21, 23, 24.
Counting 24 maximum with the Blood Mage Thalnos. So we are 2
So we
damage
have-
off lethal.
You're counting the Jade Lightning.
Yeah, we
Yes.
counted it all.
It's very, very close.
Oh,
So do we just go face with everything, and
well,
I don't mind taking him down to 1.
2 is as good as you
Forcing
can
him
get.
to-
hmm
And I don't know, I'm not going to talk.
So we
I
have the
would-
coin, which
Yep.
means he can't play Cthulhu next turn because he'll only have 9 mana.
Yeah.
So we could hedge our bets and
Just
use the Jade Lightning and the Bilefin Tidehunter to kill the minion.
So the 2/1 then on the right and the Jade Lightning on the minion and the rest goes face?
Yes. And then we can hero power and we get a totem as well as
No room
yeah.
for the recruit.
Because of the Jade. Silly me. That's okay. We just get the totem.
I mean,
Unfortunately, we were roped. We were challenged by the rope a little bit there, but the Jade Claws also would have been an option to play
yeah.
instead of the totem. We'd get a 6/6 Jade and we'd hit face for 2.
Well, I was thinking also. All right, so he has Revenge. That clears a lot. Ravaging Ghoul. That clears some. No, that clears nothing else. And is he dead? Yeah. Yeah, he's dead. Because we have 13.
You can brand Doppelgangster before you kill him.
Okay. Hang on.
Nah. It doesn't fit.
We'll just wrap this up.
Yeah, just kill him.
Yeah.
So what did you think on the turn where we used the lightning? Using one of the minions to clear and saving the lightning for some extra phase damage. It just because of brawl or revenge and stuff like that.
At that point, he'd kind of shown us that he didn't have brawl, because he chose to play the Ancient Shield Bearer instead of brawling our board. And getting the Bilefin Tidehunter out of the way makes room for more Jades. But also, I don't think going all in there and ignoring the Ancient Shield Bearer would have been bad either.
Yeah.
Because there was no way he could have killed us the following turn.
That is true. That's true. So we could have gone
and we had
all
plenty
in.
of refill
Yep.
if he did have brawl.
I sometimes like to keep that just in case of like say revenge and some taunt or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It worked. We won.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to Doppelgangster and Evolve,
Well,
but
we
the Evolve
evolved-
was still pretty good.
We evolved a whole bunch of stuff, so that's
Yeah, it
good.
was a
Yeah.
7-mana
That
or a
was still
7-minion
good.
Evolve.
So we could have got away with it evidently because it didn't look like he had the brawl. But all right, well I don't see anything I'm keeping for this opener. I got both my. I'm not on the coin this time. I got both Azure Trakes and the Jinyu water speaker. And you don't want
Against
any of
another
this to begin
warrior.
with.
Oh, so you only have one golden Azure Drake, Dan? That's so sad.
We have the wood.
Because I have two. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but
I don't think I have any.
I crafted
0
them
golden Azure Drakes.
because they go on every deck, so might as well.
That's true.
I don't have much for my opener. I got two flame tongue totems. We got the doppelganger, and we have devolve. So that's my opener. Can't do anything.
What's a golden devolve? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice card. Yeah, this is definitely a much weaker hand. And it's looking like we're playing against a pirate warrior this time. We just played
Of
Sir Finley
course.
Merchant on turn 1. So unfortunately, we would have much rather had this hand for last game and last game's hand for this game. But that's a pretty solid draw.
Yes, we drew the Jade Claws, so I guess we'll just go ahead and play that. Since we really can't play anything else. Now, do we ignore Sir Finley and just take 2 to his face?
We're not going to hit face.
Okay.
If we
Just
hit
wait.
Finley, then he chose the dagger up hero power, the rogue hero power off of Finley.
Right.
And he
Okay.
could run that into our 1/1 Jade. But that would mean that he's passing his turn 2, essentially. And then we could kill the Finley with our weapon.
Okay.
But honestly, I think there's much more scary minions coming. Like Small-Time Buccaneers. This Finley, honestly, it's 1 damage. It's not really
All right, so we'll
worrying
play-
me right now. So I
play
think we're
our,
going to hold the
Jade
weapon.
Claws, hold the weapon. And we still got the 2 Flame Tongues, Doppelganger, and Devolve in our hand.
All right, it's turn 2. Mr. Warrior. He does have the rogue. Smart man. Rogue hero power.
It activates his Small-Time Buccaneers, his South Sea Deckhands.
No, it's the rogue hero power. That's enough right there.
That's enough for you.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay, we have Evolve.
So he played a Frothing Berserker and he traded into the 1/1 with the Finley, so he made it a 4/4.
That Frothing Berserker scares me. And the only way that I see to remove it right now is a
Evolve.
little golden card with 3 confused-looking Murlocs on the front of it.
Do,
All right,
you,
yep.
do you do it before you clear the Finley? So Finley's going to go to a Wisp, right?
Yes, but I think
We
I
wanna
think you
save it in
devolve
case we
before
can-
because you know Finley's going to be a Wisp. And if we can clear off the 2-drop minion, I think that's more important.
It could
So
be
I would
a-
devolve first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we don't
And I
have to
would
do
hold the
anything.
weapon. Because
And
we
we hold-
devolved
Into a
his Frothing
Doomsayer.
into a Doomsayer.
Excellent. So, yeah, we have a Doomsayer and a Murloc Tiny Fin that's going to go bye-bye in a moment.
Poor baby. It's
And we
okay.
still have Evolve, Doppelganger, and the 2 Flame Tongue Totems, so we might just be getting to see that new combo.
Yep.
Potentially.
From
Because
here we can do it safely
Pirate Warrior
Yep.
doesn't run.
they don't have a Yui. So
The turn 6 is pretty much going to be Doppelgangster Evolve.
Just gotta make it to turn 6.
First mate, here comes Patches out of a cannonball. Face he goes with the weapon and with the patches. And he played a Bloodsail Raider as well. Ooh,
That's a fantastic draw.
that's a perfect
Jade
answer
Lightning.
to
So
the.
I guess we use Jade Lightning on the 3/3.
Yes.
And then I think we can run the Jade Claws into either of the 1/1 minions. Doesn't really matter. They're both pirates. I know. Poor Tiny Finn. Bly's in the chat is lamenting the loss of sweet Tiny Finn.
So
But
we do that.
it was not our fault.
I know we didn't pick it, and still got the same hand left. 2 Flame Tongue Totems, Doppelganger, and Evolve, waiting on turn 6.
Alright, so our friend Warrior is at full health, 4 mana, plays another Bloodsail Raider, and a Southsea deckhand to go along with it. He trades the deckhand into our Jade, and goes face for 2 with the N'Zoth, and... Oh my god, perfect.
That's
Okay.
a great draw.
Sorry,
So,
Okay.
Azure Drake for our turn 5 draw.
doesn't get
so
any
I
better
guess-
than that.
I guess I go ahead and play Doppelganger now. No, kidding. I'm joking.
Get that
Play
Drake on
Azure
the
Drake,
board.
and we draw our
Nice.
other
Jade
Jade Lightning off of it. We hold the weapon,
Take-
or
I would go ahead and run it into the first mate.
You take down
Okay.
the 1/1.
Because then-
make them.
Yeah.
Okay,
if he wants
so-
to kill your Drake, then he has to use his weapon.
Okay, so we do that. So we got the Jade Lightning, and our big turn coming up with Evolve and Doppelganger, and a couple of Flame Tongue Totems. Maybe to
Flame
throw
Tongue
in there
Totems are holding us
afterwards.
back, but fortunately we are drawing incredibly well.
Yeah, you're just... Oh wow, Arcanite Reaper comes out. Whew,
Okay.
okay, cool. He just goes face with everything, and here we go.
All right.
You trade
So,
Alright.
first, right? Yeah.
before we do this, make sure we trade the Drake into the Bloodsail Raider, because it will still get evolved even though it's damaged.
We get another
And-
6 drop. Oof.
All right, make
We're
sure
gonna
I play
get 4 6 drops this turn.
Drum roll, please.
Doppelganger.
Here we go.
like Evolve.
And
Ta-da! Oh my.
Oh wow. Okay.
Pretty good.
swing in, Reckless Rocketeer. Boom.
So we got Koldara Drake, which is a 6/6. We got Thing from Below, which is our 5/5 taunt. We got the Beast, which is a 9/7, and we got Reckless Rocketeer. So we were immediately able to put him at 25.
Wow.
Who's the smart class now, Pirate Warrior?
And we have 25 on the board. That's crazy. He's upgrading,
This is awesome.
swinging in, and swinging face. All right. So you have 2 Flame Tongue Totems.
So,
Does this finish things off? We draw for
Yeah.
last. We draw the Jade Chieftain.
He's dead on the board.
we have lethal on board. We have exactly 20.
But you can
But
play the
with Flame Tongue Totem and
Well,
Jade
okay.
Lightning, we can have
I'm gonna throw out
28.
the Flame Tongue Totems just to pretty things up a little bit.
Ah, beautiful.
Since they're all shiny and stuff.
Wow.
Let the
13 to
teams
the
finish it.
face with the Beast.
OTK.
That was pretty good of all.
See?
I
OTK.
almost want to end the show there.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Well, I guess we usually try and do 3, and these have gone pretty quick, so I guess
Yeah,
we'll push
absolutely.
our luck. We'll go for the third one.
That
But
was
I'm not sure if we
disgusting.
can top that or not. That was like the epitome of what that deck's supposed
Yes.
to do.
That's
yeah, I
crazy.
mean that we essentially out aggroed a pirate warrior. Fortunately, though our opening hand was weak, we did draw kind of exactly what we needed,
Yeah.
which was good. That was helpful in actually keeping us alive until turn 6. But
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he had
that
the
was-
Arcanite Reaper. If we didn't draw those answers, we'd be dead before we could do our trick. So that's
Yep.
pretty good.
Now, let me see. We're playing against a shaman. I wouldn't keep any of these cards. The Azure Drake, the Thing from Below. Maelstrom Portal's tempting, but
I'm
I
also tempted to keep the Maelstrom Portal. I wish we were on the coin.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep the Maelstrom Portal. I was torn on that one.
Hey, Cora,
I
from
think
the,
it's okay.
from the chat, I think they agreed with your BM approach with the lightning, not with the two
Jade
flame
Lightning
tongues.
from Max
So,
BM Lethal.
Dan, you picked
You know
wrong.
what?
I
If
chose
it was-
wrong.
If it was any other class, I might think about showing mercy. But it's Pirate Warrior, and I just cannot
Did that feel good?
let them get away with that. I just can't do it. I want them to rethink their deck choice the next time they go into play mode.
Well, we didn't get much for our opening hand here. We got a Flame Tongue Totem, Janu, Water Speaker, Evolve that, well, I could throw out there right now. We wouldn't do much. And we're still got our Maelstrom Portal. So that's it. I'll end my turn. Oh,
All right, turn 1 for our friend the Shaman. With a 1 mana, a handful of cards.
After all that, it's like I could hardly care how this game.
People are hyped up about OTK Evolved Shaman that we just discovered here.
It is a fun deck.
It's kind of a 2 TK, but okay.
Almost could have been a 1-turn kill if. Anyway.
All right, so he plays up. Oh gosh, Small Time Buccaneer catches the pirates. Comes out. It's golden, and he also plays a Sir Finley Myrtleton, and he gets the Warlock hero power. So that is insane.
All right, so our shaman friend is doing quite well for himself.
Yes, he is.
Oof.
The only thing we can do, I guess, is hero power.
I would actually go ahead and Maelstrom Portal.
Would you, to get a minion down and at least
on the very off chance that he doesn't have a weapon in hand? Maybe it'll challenge the minions on board. Our hand is just very weak at this point. There's not much we can do.
Get our own Small Time Buccaneer.
Okay.
Now we just need to draw a weapon. Or hope it lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
Alright, of course.
Jade Claws comes out. So that takes care of our Small Time Buccaneer. He hits us in the face for 4. Whew.
We draw Hex. Not what we were looking for right now. Oh my.
Oh my goodness. I am seriously considering hexing a 1-drop that we've already dealt 1 damage to.
Just because?
Well, because we're going to be taking 1,000,000 here if we don't do that.
Yeah, it's going to add up.
Okay.
We can Jade Lightning whatever he plays next turn, but...
Hexing the Small Time Buccaneer.
Feels bad.
Why not?
And that right there is why Small Time Buccaneer is the problem and not Patches.
Yeah. And how different are these two games?
Oh, Totem Golem. That's good
Imagine if Small Time Buccaneer was a 1/1 that became a 3/1.
Yeah, you think that'd be better?
Well, it would have died.
I think it'd certainly be better for us at this point.
Well, that's true.
But you know what? We're actually not doing too badly.
So because he went phase with everything, so he lost his weapon. He may have another one, but he's down to 3 cards. There's like a couple damage. I mean, there's 5 damage, but we're gonna take care of some here. So, yep.
So we're gonna play our Janu Water Speaker. Do we Jade Lightning?
I would Jade Lightning the Totem Golem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jade Lightning.
He's overloaded for 1 next turn. And
if he taps, he's gonna be off mana. So crazy. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do that. I have the Jade Chieftain in my hand, a Flame Tongue Totem, Janu Water Speaker, and this Evolve just waiting for the Doppelganger to show up here in the next couple of turns.
We're hoping he has a dead turn.
He has nothing. It's like a bunch
we do have some staying power with the Jinyu. Will give us 6 health, and also the 3/6 stats are pretty solid here.
Another Jade Claws. Ugh.
Of course.
He's just gonna go face. Not even gonna trade. Wow.
That's interesting.
Everything face.
Okay, turn 5, we draw Jade Spirit.
Okay. So I'm actually thinking, so we can trade our 1/1 into their frog that we hexed. And then I kind of want to play Jade Spirit and Evolve. I think 3 minions is good enough.
Okay.
I think it is. We need to fight back on this board.
So trade first, then, remember. Don't.
Right.
Kill the little frog.
And we'll end up with a 5-drop, a 3-drop, and a 2-drop.
Here we go, then.
And then next turn we can Jinyu, and following that, We'll actually be overloaded, so we can't Jade Chieftain, but hopefully we'll find something.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that's a good one.
We get
So our
the-
5-drop is the Alley Armor Smith.
You're just evolving like a champ, Dan.
Oh, I'm good at that
Nothing to do with
evolve.
All Dan.
We get a Rifleman, a 2/2, and an Eternal Sentinel, another 3/2.
Yeah, these were not exciting, but the 5-drop was good.
Yeah, the 2/7. That's nice.
Let's see how many
That
times you have
might
to
net
hit
us
it.
Taunt.
quite a bit of health.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he plays 7/7 and pass. Just smart of him. Okay.
We draw Azure Drake.
You know, actually, this is totally okay. Because if we place the Flame Tongue Totem between the Eternal Sentinel and the Alley Armorsmith, we can trade the Eternal Sentinel and the Ironforge Rifleman into the Flame Wraith Faceless, kill it off, trade our Alley Armorsmith into the 2/2, and then play the Jinyu on the left of the Flame Tongue.
Wow.
This is kind of gross.
Okay.
Alright, so 5/2 into
Taken.
7/7, right?
5/2
Yes.
into the 7/7.
2/2.
The 2/2 to finish it off.
Jinyu Water Speaker to the left of the Flame Tongue Totem and target our face with the heal.
So we get 6 health.
And then we're gonna run the Alley Armorsmith into the 2/2 and get 4 armor.
Yeah, not his face, Dan. Our face.
I didn't realize that was a targeting ability.
And we're back up to 27.
And there's still a 4/5. And he has no way to kill it on board.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Dan.
Evolve's a good card, guys.
Yeah, I'm
card.
thinking to evolve.
This is until you start hitting nothing. But let's not jinx it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're celebrating. It's 2 years.
That's right.
This is good stuff.
3 good games in a row, I'll take it.
So he only has 4 mana. And... Okay, is that a Hex?
It's a hex.
It's
Nope.
It's a lightning bolt into the alley. A South Sea deckhand. And a tap blast. No.
Ha
He did that just to irritate.
ha!
He
And now
knows
his
we're
South
the
Sea
show.
deckhand
He used
cannot
a
attack
weapon
this
too
turn.
before attacking with the.
I've been there.
Well,
I think
maybe
we
he
tilted him.
maybe he wanted to, but I don't think so. I think that's a mistake because
That was a mistake.
he left the flame tongue up and he couldn't attack with the South Sea. Anyway,
So we draw Brawn, but not much of a reason to throw him down. We just, I guess, just play the Azure Drake.
That's one option. The Bran here sets up for Jade Chieftain next turn, which would give us 2 taunt minions. So while the
Okay.
Azure Drake is strong this turn, we could Bran Bronzebeard and Totem,
Okay.
and then try to set up for the Jade Chieftain next turn, which
I
I,
would play
I
Do
think
we
is
want
still
Bran
okay.
next to the Flame Tongue?
I would
or
play it all the way to the left, right? Or totem
so-
first.
Totem first?
Totem first, see what we get. We're looking for healing totem or taunt totem.
Taunt is good.
Got the Taunt
Okay.
Totem.
And now
I'll
you can
play
play Bran
Bran.
all the way to the right, actually. Yeah. And I would trade into the South Sea deckhand.
Yeah, kill that thing. Protect Bran with your life.
Because if he can't kill him,
Then we
which we saw a lightning bolt, so that probably means that he doesn't have lava burst in hand.
could have Jade Lightning. Did you play one already? Or not?
I do not believe he did.
He can tap first, as he should, but maybe he will wait. In honor of the show. It's a thing that I banged on a lot when we. Ooh, Doomhammer. Okay, so that goes into Taunt Totem. He finally decides that it's a good idea to kill the Flame Tongue, but he does it in a way that overkills it by 1. So he ran the 2/1 health minions and then hit it, which wasted 1 damage. And now we have something really disgusting.
This is interesting. I guess.
I mean, we could. There's 2 ways to do it, actually,
Yeah.
because
There's actually 2 really good plays here.
the battle
Yeah.
cry, the Bran works on Jade Claws, which is crazy.
So we could draw 2 cards from the Azure Drake and get the 2 totems from the Jade Claws. We're at 29
what-
health.
We don't have
that
any
what we
pressure
do?
here. Yeah, I mean, I think that's
Okay.
better, right?
I think it's better.
All right,
I didn't think
I'll play-
anything would quite be better than the Jade Chieftain, but I'm not worried about dying.
Yeah.
And
Where you
this is
play,
pretty good.
Azure Drake first.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and we get a Jade Lightning and Thing from Below. Now we go ahead and play our Jade Claws.
Into the 1-2, right?
And then Bran into the 1/1. You can hit face for 3 damage. It was important to note that we could have totemed and played the Thing from Below there,
Oh,
but I think we're in an okay spot here. Our board's looking pretty strong.
I mean, how do
and
we-
at 28,
he would need what? 2 Rockbiter weapons and
that would be 16.
and that's not even close. Yeah.
No,
So-
he would need an extra
He
2
would
lava
need to
bursts plus
concede.
spell damage
Wow.
And he gives
on
up.
6 mana.
Dan, I need to keep you around for these evolves. I mean,
I will take that for an evening. Awesome. That
Nice
was
job.
great.
oh man.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you,
fun
Cora.
deck. Important to note, the games don't usually go that well, but crazy stuff can happen. You can YOLO and evolve on your Jade Spirit and get an Alley Armorsmith to save you the game,
Oh,
and it's pretty sweet.
Or you can get a Reckless Rocketeer to 2-turn kill him pretty quickly.
Exactly.
oh, thank you, Cora, so much for bringing this deck to us. This could not, I think, have gone any better for our 2-year anniversary show tonight. I'm not sure what else could have happened to make it any better.
Well, I am glad to have had the opportunity to bring a little bit of fun to the show tonight. So thank you so much for having me. I hope the audience enjoys it as well.
You are so much welcome, and thank you again. And when we bring this thing into a close for the evening, at least for the our recorded section here, go ahead. Do you want to give your plugs one more time where people can find you? And of course, we'll have some links on today's show on HearthCoach.net. But if
Yeah,
you want to throw that
absolutely.
out there one more time, please do.
Follow me on Twitter at songbird_HS, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sage Cora, SAGECORA. And my podcast is coinconcede.com or twitch.tv/coinconcede podcast.
That's it, and check it out. It's an excellent podcast. It's in my queue on iTunes.
Yep. And if
also.
you ever watch any upcoming or some of the upcoming Blizzard events,
Yep.
you may see her casting.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
be on
You
the
will.
feel
lookout.
free
Yep.
to give me a shout out in the chat or hit me up on Twitter if you see me casting and you have any constructive criticism or just want to say hi. I'm always happy
Yeah.
to
Constructive.
Yeah.
constructive being the
being
key
the
word there. If
key
you
word
don't like
there.
what I'm wearing, please don't tell me. I'll be immediately self-conscious, and we don't want that.
Yeah. So
Yes.
thanks again, Cora.
Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations again. Really, just incredible. 2 years without a single missed show is a feat indeed.
Yes, we are quite proud around here. And okay, let me see if I can get the rest of this from memory, bringing her on into a close. I mentioned the website, and over on the website you can find the Battle Tag Exchange. I keep seeing new friends show up on my list, so that the Battle Tag Exchange is growing and growing. So go on over there and add some friends to your friends list. Go on over to iTunes and leave us a review. Keep us up there in the rankings. It's awesome to see us up there slugging it out with the big name podcasts with the studios and all that cool stuff. So that's always awesome to look at when I bring up the iTunes. You can find us on your social medias over on Facebook and Twitter. And last but not least, of course, go on over to Patreon/HearthCoach and become a patron. $5 a month and up, and you can join in with the tournaments, and that money we take and just turn around and put back in the tournaments and the show and stuff like that. So I think that covers it. Did I miss anything, friend?
I think you got it all, Dan. You're a pro. You've been doing it for a while. After 104 times.
104 times? At least 104.
Couple practice sessions thrown in. Nothing to be ashamed about.
Oh,
The
no,
lust-
there's no
The lost
No lost
episode that
episode.
was left in the cutting floor. Nobody wants to listen to
None of
that
those.
thing.
No.
Oh no. The lost episode.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's it. So with that in mind, thanks again to everybody for 2 years. Hopefully we'll keep running for 2 more years and you'll be there with us. So on the people in the chat, I see some more people that joined. Lucas, Croven Blaze, Blake Hall, of course, the Rosho, the Ruckus, Language Hacker was here. So, and I know
Nice.
my friend Ray and Jeff, real life friends, I know they joined. So, shout out to them. And thanks to everybody. And we'll see you next week. So, good luck on the ladder.
Good luck, everyone.
So I stopped the recording. The stream is still going for a second. I don't know, Cora, if you have
Okay.
to go. I understand. We don't want
Yeah,
to.
we do not want to impose on your.
It's been a
good
little
content.
bit, so. But
Yeah,
sometimes
we-
if people have
Thank you
questions
for
and
a
stuff.
while.
Yeah, I mean, if they have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Okay.
The only thing I have to do is go play Overwatch and try to get my hands on some of those sweet new expansion skins. But
Cool.
I can certainly spare a couple minutes of my time.
Cool. If there is like questions or anything else in the Twitch, I don't have that up in front of me. I just
Yeah, no,
kinda
I,
just drew it. If I had Twitch on during the show, oh my god.
yeah, no, I got the chat has been pretty fairly active, so that's fun. There's
I keep
maybe
things
15,
limited
20
by-
people showed, so that's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for us.
Oh, so we have Lucas saying Overwatch is less than Hearthstone. Ooh.
I would come back with this one. One sec. I need to type it out. Gotta find. No, that's the plus side. There we go.
For Cora, language hacker, what is your average ladder finish and highest ladder finish? I think he missed. Well, the average you
Yeah.
didn't answer. You mentioned the
Um,
highest, but
So I've hit legend 24 times now. I usually finish around top 1,000 somewhere. I've had one top 100 finish, but the highest I've ever been was rank 3 legend, and I held top 5 legend for about 2 weeks, September of 2015. So since then I've been in top 100 several times, but I've only finished there once.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean I'm a regular legend player, so.
Yep.
Just a lot of it comes down to not having a lot of time to grind in Legend
at the,
She-
when I'm getting there in like the last 3 days of the month.
and then the
Yes.
last day, yeah.
Yeah,
You have the skill.
yeah. That's what I'm going to be trying for more than anything. Are some ladder finishes over the next couple of months. Open cups are really draining, and a lot of the time you spend 6-7 hours to get one round off from getting points, and that's kind of sucky. And people forget about those things pretty quickly. But if I could get a nice ladder finish somewhere in there, that's something people remember. And it's something that I think I'd really like to try and get again. So,
Cool.
gonna
Yeah.
be working on that.
Go for it.
Does my role in Secret Paladin never keep me up at night? Yes. Only because I wish I'd had more time to fill that role in Secret Paladin.
I loved me some Secret Paladin. I ain't gonna lie.
If the
Hey.
people who played Undertaker Hunter and Patron Warrior and oh god, what
Hey.
else? If the people who played Leroy Shadowstep, Leroy Preparation, Eviscerate can sleep at night, then I certainly can for playing Mysterious Challenger.
So since we're
I
talking,
am okay with myself.
since we're going back in time, let's do a full confessional. And I my top 50 finish was with the time of the Undertaker Hunter because it was
I
pretty
got a mid-range
unstoppable.
hunter.
Well-
Yes, a little bit of Meg Mage too, probably around that time. Well, no, this was next.
God.
Yeah,
Unstable Portal with Mech Mage.
Oh.
That was a
yeah.
that was
Oh.
a fun deck.
I have a couple here, text messages from those real life friends that said, "Good show, Cora was good, excellent deck, Cora is great." So there you go.
Aw, thanks, real life friends.
They
That's very nice.
Cool.
First top 100 with Undertaker Priest. That's how I got my first 350 Priest wins. Was Undertaker Priest. It was a fun deck.
Oh, by the
Hey.
way,
It was really fun.
that was the first show, Undertaker
Is it
Priest.
really?
Yes. If you go back
Oh wow.
to episode 1, it's a death, rattle, and roll
Oh
with
wow.
a sick, silly fun
That's so
name.
funny.
Yep. All right.
Well, I had no shame that before the expansion came out, I was playing that hated shaman deck that everybody was sick of seeing.
Gotta do what you
I
gotta do.
yeah, I gave it quite a whirl. So yeah,
All right. Corbin Blaze, is Cora going to be back for HCT casting this year?
Yes, I will be, but it will not be every season, and every event like I did last year. I'm going to be working on plenty of other things, so you're still going to be seeing me. I'll be back occasionally for HCT, but I have one other long-term thing lined up right now that will be regular, and you'll be seeing me every week. So when I have the ability to announce that, I certainly will. It's sooner than you think. So,
Yeah, so-
hopefully you should be finding out about that pretty soon.
Oh man,
so follow her.
so close to breaking news, Dan.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah,
Oh
we're
my.
like
know.
right there. I asked today. I'm like, so can I tell people about this? And they're like, hold off. And I'm like, all right, fine. But it's coming soon, and it'll be a pretty regular gig.
Cool.
I mean, it's
for a
not
bit,
like
so
Cora has
hopefully-
a podcast of her own. She might want to break news on or anything like that.
Hey, it's a 2-year
If
anniversary.
I could break the news here, I absolutely would. But
All
I can't,
good.
unfortunately. I'm
I
I'm
would,
not at liberty
Oh,
at this moment.
speaking of breaking news, when the first year anniversary was Firebat, and
right.
Really?
he told us before the show, breaking news, that he was off of Arca and all that stuff, but it wasn't public, so we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, we
knew
couldn't talk
before
about it.
everybody else.
We had
That's so
breaking
exciting.
news. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's some good gossip too.
I know. It's like
That's
He
good stuff.
he wasn't sure what he was going to. He was kind of done with teams.
Yeah, the whole drama.
Really?
He didn't know what he was gonna do, but
I
I gotta say, I asked him to come back, but he's been so busy. But
Yeah.
did you watch
Yeah, I
him?
mean, he's living the casting life now. You're going to be seeing him on HCT a lot.
Did you see
I
him
thought
cast
Play-
China
regular.
versus NA? Did you see any of that? Cora?
Yes, he casted it on his channel.
On,
hmm He was the English cast, yeah.
by himself. I mean, this guy is incredible. He's keeping the
Mhm.
thing going by himself. There's no
Yeah,
other
it's nutty.
caster. It's amazing. So
In
anyway,
English, anyway.
yep, big fans here, and of course he's been on the show before. So
Well, I do think he wants to get back into competitive playing now as well.
I think he has definitely the fire to
Hmm.
make.
So like his casting is fantastic. But I do think he wants to play again as well.
yeah,
If he can get that second world championship under his belt.
you know, it's like the ideal guy that can do content. He streams, he can
He's
cast.
every-
He's good. It's crazy. Anyway,
It's just a cool dude.
and he's super nice. Anyway,
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah,
All right.
fortunately got to cast one event with him. I didn't actually get to cast with him, but I got to cast before and after him,
Yep.
which was close enough.
so
It was still cool.
Avantis from Hero Power wants to know if he's late. He just
You're right
got
on
here.
time.
He just made it on time
Right
for
on
the
time.
end.
Zeroshio was here a bit early, but we'll just call him fashionably early. And you're fashionably on time.
Oh, awesome.
Oh man, does he give you a hard time about DreamHack? I'm just bringing it up for Dan because he's.
DreamHack? Oh, we got our reservations already.
Oh man.
Wow.
And some tickets.
Here's the thing. So I'm still holding out the little bit of hope that somehow they want to hire me to cast a DreamHack.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
I doubt it'll happen, but I'm like, we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna see. Maybe. Just
Oh.
maybe.
You ever?
When is
totally
when
understand.
is DreamHack
Is it,
Atlanta?
it's July. July
Oh,
something.
plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Have you ever been down here?
No, I've not. I believe I drove through Georgia, but I've never been in Atlanta.
If you do the DreamHack, then you want to come to Dragon Con because that's a whole other story. But anyway,
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
okay.
I haven't been able to make it to Dragon Con yet.
Yeah. The Ruckus says, Cora, who is your favorite person you casted with?
Oh,
Oh,
don't
no,
put the
that's-
girl on the spot.
That's a tough one. I've
At least
casted a
you
lot
said
with Admirable. I've cast a lot with Admirable, and him and I have a really good rapport. He's really cool. Actually, I really like Subtle. He comes across as very dry, but backstage he's really funny. Although I think our casting together maybe isn't the best. I don't know. We've had some really good casts. We've had some okay casts. Kibler's just like so personable. Like casting with him is just always fun. TJ's great too. It's honestly hard to pick. It really is.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, it's kind of a coin flip. I mean, I've casted mostly with Admirable. Casted with Raven a little bit. Casted once with Reynad, but it was with Reynad and Frodan, so it was like I was the third wheel, you know.
Yeah, the bromance.
Frodan was desk hosting, and then Reynad and I were the two
Yeah.
analysts at that time. It was still when they were 3-person desks, so it's like, all right, you've got. I was in the middle. I was flanked by Reynad and Frodan, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit back a little bit, and you guys can just like just do the thing, because honestly, at this desk, who the hell wants to hear me talk? Like, no, I'm just not gonna do anything. You guys can have this one. It's hard to say. It honestly is hard to say.
All good. I don't blame it. It'd be hard to pick.
Different people for different reasons.
Yeah.
I guess would be my answer.
I tried once a while ago writing to Brian Kibler email
Kiblergate.
about the show, but I'm sure he gets all kinds of requests. So he was here at Battle and Brew one day, and I missed him. I wish I was up there to say hi in person and see if he could get him to commit to make a guest appearance, because I think that would be great. But maybe one day. Never know. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? We'll let you go so that you
We
get
can
some
wrap this up
Overwatch going.
And I can do a little bit of editing and slap this thing together
Yeah,
and get it posted for everyone tomorrow.
I should have been converting the file, but I'm just having a good time here.
Oh, good. It's not as
Never
quite as
anything wrong
super
with
late
that.
as we've gone.
All right. Well, thank you guys
Cool.
again. I had a ton of fun as always.
Yes, well,
One last here
Oh,
is
yeah.
how do we know Cora's favorite class and her favorite archetype? I did not ask her, so good.
My favorite deck is Control Warrior with Elise Starseeker. Like the hyper removal Control Warrior with Elise is my favorite deck.
there you go.
My favorite class? I don't know. I've always really liked Druid as a class. I really like the concept.
See, now you're making it worse, Cora. First you don't like Rogue, now you love Druid. It's like, oh man.
I was a big proponent of Combo Druid. I loved it. I played the hell out of Combo Druid.
We're like polar opposites. No.
It was, well, Druid was the first class I ever got golden, followed by Warlock actually with Handlock. So like classic Molten Giant, Sun Fury Protector on your Ancient Watcher's Handlock was a ton of fun too.
That's old school.
That was so much fun. And I miss being able to play mid-range Hunter. I did enjoy going back to that every once in a while. But the favorite deck is the Elise Control Warrior. And I'm going to miss it when it's gone.
You just won a new fan. And you should watch this
Yay.
guy, Language Hacker. He's trying really hard, and he, like I mentioned, he almost won a tournament against Trump, and
Oh, this was the guy you're talking about. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
he's been
That's
on the
totally
show
sweet.
before. He's very nice.
Yeah.
And,
Awesome.
he's trying this
Oh, looks like
time.
he's got a nice rig. I'm creeping on his Twitch.
Yeah.
His computer specs are impressive.
I think he's qualified already, or maybe very close to it for the preliminaries. So anyway,
Awesome. Well, good luck, man. That's awesome.
Canadian.
I'll be looking for your name. Got to get that trip to the Bahamas.
That's
I'm
right.
probably not getting it this time, so somebody else has to go and tell me if it's warm and beautiful.
Yeah, and then the last thing.
I could tell you, it's warm and beautiful.
It's warm and beautiful. Damn it.
The last.
They just had to go to the land of swimming with the dolphins the year of not casting winter championships, maybe. We don't know for sure.
I have been there in person before. I went to a trip to Nassau. It was nice. Well, the last question is your favorite card. We asked that too.
Oh,
Is there
favorite
one
card.
that you can say from any set? Doesn't have to be standard.
Cenarius.
Scenarios.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fair card. That's.
It was my first golden legendary, so I used to try and make him work in every druid deck I ever built. But like newer cards, at least Starseeker. I love Elise.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is good.
sounds
That's an interesting.
Sound like me and Ysera.
Your
Oh, yeah,
golden,
Sarah's great.
your golden Ysera.
Sarah's
My
great.
golden Ysera.
Let me see, now I
Okie
gotta look back.
dokie. So I think that's good. So everybody, thanks Cora again. Thanks everybody
Yeah,
for
thank you
hanging out.
guys. Thank you everybody for watching live. I appreciate it.
And again, check out her stream and Coin Concede and all that good stuff. Until next time, good luck making it to legend.
Yep. Good luck, stream.
Bye guys.